Hello, beautiful warriors. It's me, Caitlin Parker, and welcome to my third episode of Inside the Mind of a PH Warrior. In today's podcast, I want to open up and share my experience of having to wear oxygen for the first time during a job interview. Now, people without a chronic illness might look at this and think, wow, is she really stressing out about having to wear oxygen to an interview? It's not that big a deal. But to me, it was a huge deal. One of the perks of having an invisible illness is that nobody knows that you are sick, and they treat you like how they would treat a normal person. But when you are wearing oxygen, suddenly everyone is nice to you, and they treat you completely different. Your illness is visible now. Instead of walking past a girl that is just standing there trying to catch her breath before she walks in, you might be thinking, wow, that is weird. Why is she just standing there? Isn't she going to move? But now, when I go out, I'm wearing my oxygen, and now people stare more, but have much more compassion for me. Now they can see, oh, that girl has oxygen, and she is standing in place probably because she can't breathe and needs to take a break. Wow, what a complete 180. I get a lot less judgmental looks and a lot more I feel sorry for her looks. With me having an invisible illness for so long and being able to hide it well because nobody knows that something is wrong with you, I never really had to open up and tell people that I was suffering, or nobody really understood why I needed breaks. All they saw was a young girl who looked healthy and fine. Now, with having a visible illness, everything had changed. I no longer looked like the young girl who was okay. I look like the girl who probably has cancer and is going to die soon. That was a little bit of a backstory I wanted to share before I get into my thoughts about the interview. I applied for a job, and the very next day they asked if I'd be interested in coming in for an interview. Of course, I was thrilled that they were interested in hiring me, but all of a sudden my stomach dropped. I had the thought, should I or should I not wear my oxygen during the interview? Should I be open and honest and share my story with them and potentially not get the job because they think I can't handle it? Are they going to see me with oxygen and judge me from the start without getting to know me? These were the questions I had racing in my mind. I was very confused about what I should do. I was going through all the pros and cons. I was thinking, well, I sort of have to wear my oxygen during the interview. I really have no choice. How am I going to show up to the interview without oxygen? And then on the first day show up with my oxygen and be like, surprise guys, I need oxygen in order to do my job. I barely got any sleep that night. I had all those thoughts racing through my mind. The next day came, and it was the morning of my interview. And as I was getting dressed, I noticed that I was not afraid of the questions they were going to ask me about the job. I was afraid of being judged because I have to wear oxygen. I can do my job. In fact, I probably can do most jobs better than most healthy employees. I work hard and I always go above and beyond. But are they going to think that? Are they going to ask me questions related to the job? Or are they going to be secretly thinking the whole time, there's no way this girl can do her job as good as any employee we have because she needs oxygen? I was terrified and scared for my interview. When I got to the place, I told myself, Caitlin, you're going to be okay. You are a strong person and you can do this. If they don't want to hire you because of your illness, that is fine. You can apply somewhere else. If they are only going to judge you based off one thing, then you don't need to work here. It's their loss. I went into the job interview and it was great, at least from my perspective. I was very open and honest about everything. I did not try to hide anything because I wanted them to know what they were getting into. One of the questions she asked if I had any limitations to the job duties. I was very honest with her, and I told her that with my illness, I don't have much limitations, but my biggest limitation is needing to stop and take breaks. I explained to her that if I need to do any sort of walking across the store to put the shirt on the racks, I would most likely need to take a few minutes to rest and get my breathing back to normal. I also told her that I was still recovering from heart surgery that I had a month ago, and as of right now, I would be unable to work an 8-hour shift. She was very understanding and said that normally she starts people out who are part-time with 4-hour shifts to learn the ropes of the business. I told her that was perfect and I could start with only 4-hour shifts and then gradually add more hours. That was pretty much all the questions or responses I had to give her revolving around my pulmonary hypertension. Other than that, the interview was normal, and they just asked me about my previous work experiences, and then all the tell me about a time when ... you know the rest. After the interview, I felt great and amazing. For me, it took a lot of courage and strength to go into an interview confident while having to wear oxygen. I know that for some people it's not a big deal, but when you have self-image problems and low self-esteem because you are different from everyone else, it's a big deal. I hate standing out in crowds and drawing attention to myself. It has taken a long time for me to be okay with people seeing me with oxygen. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I still get nervous every time I go out. I still feel as if everyone is staring at me and silently judging me. But now I have a way to cope with it. I tell myself it's okay that you need oxygen. Without this oxygen around your face, you would not be able to go here. You would be suffering the whole time and then get into a bad place mentally. Instead, you need this oxygen. With this oxygen, you are able to go out and enjoy your life without having to worry how long it's going to take you to get out of breath. Anyways, that is it for this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I wanted to be very honest with you all and share my thoughts about having to wear oxygen to a job interview. I was so nervous at first, but then once I was done with the interview, I was thinking, wow, that went great. I can't believe I was so scared. So with that being said, this PAH warrior is signing off. Peace.